Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to determine if a given function is even, odd, or neither. And then we're going to use an algebraic method in this video to determine if it's odd, even, or neither. Functions can be categorized as even function or odd function. A function is even if f of x is equal to f of negative x. And a function is odd if f of negative x is equal to the negative f of x. Now, we're gonna go over each of these with examples. Let's take this first example right here. Is this function f of x equals negative 3x plus 5 even, odd, or neither? So what are we gonna do is, we remember that if f of x is equal to that of f of negative x. So whenever we get an answer, if these two are the same, then it is even. Now, if these two are the same, f of negative x and the negative f of x, then it is odd. Other than that, it's gonna be classified as neither. Now let's take the first example here. So I'm gonna write here the f of x is negative 3x plus 5. Now, in order that we can write this f of negative x, so I'm just going to write that down here. F of negative x is equal to, the trick in writing f of negative x is to change all the x's into parentheses, then plug in the negative x to each of these parentheses and simplify. So in this problem that we have here, I'm going to change this into a parentheses. And so this would come out negative 3 parentheses plus 5. And then again, inside this parentheses, we're going to change this to a we put in negative x. We plug in negative x to it. So we are going to simplify this. Negative 3 times negative x would be a positive 3x. And then we have a plus 5. Now, we are going to look at, are these two the same? This is negative 3x plus 5. This is 3x plus 5. So they're not the same, which means that this is not an even function. Now, let's test if it's odd. So we're going to come up with the negative f of x first. So I'm just going to go ahead and write negative f of x. Okay, there's a trick in writing negative f of x. Put the expression of f of x inside the parentheses, then put the negative in front of the parentheses, distribute the negative, and simplify. So in this case right here, I'm going to rewrite this. So that is, which is this one right here, the f of x. So I'm going to write negative 3x, so put them inside the parentheses, that's plus 5. And then part of that is to put the negative in front of it every time. And then after that, we are going to distribute the negative to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So our negative f of x then is equal to negative and negative. We'll make it positive. So that would be 3x. And the negative and positive, that would make it negative. So that would be a negative 5. So we're going to figure out, are these two expressions the same? 3x plus 5, and this is 3x minus 5. They are not the same. That means that this expression that we have right here is neither. That's classified as neither. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. Again, we remember that if we do the work and then the f of x and the f of negative x are the same, then we will classify the function as even. And if the f of negative x and the negative f of x are the same, then we're going to classify it as odd function. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the function right here. So that is f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 4. Now, in order that I can write the f of negative x, again, the trick is we change all the x's into a parentheses and then plug in the negative x to it and simplify. So what are we going to do is I'm going to rewrite it, but this time around I will change the x into a parentheses. So that would be 3 parentheses squared minus 4. Again, what to put inside the parentheses is the negative x. So I'm going to write negative x right there. So then I will simplify this, so that would come out. So this would be our f of negative x. So that would be 3. Negative x squared means negative x times negative x, which is a positive x squared. So negative x times negative x is a positive x squared. And then we have a minus 4 at the end. So looking at this, Our f of x is equal to the f of negative x. That's 3x squared minus 4. And then this is 3x squared minus 4. From here, we can go ahead and say that this function that we have here is even because the f of x is equal to the f of negative x. So this is an even function. Now let's test if can an even function be an odd at the same time? Although the answer to that is no, but let's try to show the work here. So we are going to write the negative f of x. So that would be the trick in writing the negative f of x is to put the expression of f of x inside the parentheses, then put a negative in front of it, and then distribute the negative and simplify. So I'm going to put this inside the parentheses, so that would be 3x squared minus 4. I put the negative in front of it, and then I will distribute the negative to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So then our negative f of x is, that's going to be a negative 3x squared and then a plus 4. So these two are not the same. That means it is not odd. But then these two are the same. So then this function is even. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. Now let's move on to the third example right here. This time I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. Again, if f of x would equal to f of negative x, they are going to be, the function is going to be classified as even. And then if we have an f of negative x is equal to negative f of x, it's going to be odd. Other than that, it's going to be classified as neither. So then we go ahead and write this f of x. So the f of x here is 2x cubed plus x. Then we're ready to determine the f of negative x. Again, the trick in order that we can write the f of negative x is change all the x into a parentheses, then plug in a negative x to each of these parentheses and simplify. So I'm going to rewrite this. But this time around, I will change the x's into a parentheses. So that would be 2 parentheses cubed plus parentheses. The one that I put inside the parentheses would be the negative x. So I will plug in negative x to here and negative x here. So then our f of negative x would come out to be, this is 2 right here. So negative x cubed means negative x times negative x times negative x. And that would be a negative x cubed because you have a negative x times negative x is a positive x squared. Positive x squared times negative x is a negative x cubed. So this whole thing would come out a negative 2x cubed. And then positive and negative would come out a negative x. So let's check. Are these two the same? They are not the same because that's a positive, that's a negative, that's a positive, that's a negative. So this function is not even. Now let's test if it's odd. So in order that we can do that, we're going to write the negative f of x. Again, the trick in order that we can write the negative f of x is to put this expression of f of x, which is 2x plus 3 plus x inside the parentheses, then put a negative in front of the parentheses and distribute the negative and simplify. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. So that would be 2x cubed plus x. And then I will put a negative in front of it. And then I will distribute this negative to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So this negative f of x would come out to be, that's gonna be negative 2x cubed. So that's equal to negative 2x cubed, and then negative times positive is a negative x. So pretty much negative f of x is actually equal to negative 2x cubed minus x. I just rewrote it because others can get confused, like what happened to the negative there. So I just rewrite it at the bottom right here. So let's check if these two are the same. These two are a match. So then this function is actually odd function. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. That's it. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!